What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back to do some catch up on The Shy, y'all. So, this is The Shy, season 6, episode 5, one of those nights. And what night is it, y'all? It is prom night. Oh my God. I'm not even gonna hold you too long. We're gonna get into spoilers in this review recap. I enjoyed this episode. It was so good. It was such a feel good episode. And I think that is one of the things that the show was kind of missing in season 4 and season 5. But season 6 has more than made up for that. So we are going to go ahead and get into it. Baby, Kevin is in here trying on his suits for prom. Emmett is up here helping him like a proud big brother, as he should. You know, I almost thought about it, and I was like, well, why isn't Nina or Dre doing this with him? No, it's perfect for Emmett, his pseudo big brother, to take on this role to get him this suit. However, when he told him that he was like, I can't believe I'm buying you a suit. He was like, this, what? I got this. I got the money. Did you not forget I was on my own? Did you not forget that I'm doing my own thing? Did you not forget that? And I was like, this, yes, come on, Kevin, talk your shit. Okay. I was here for it. And it was in this conversation that Kevin actually broke the news to Emmett, letting him know that he was contemplating moving to LA to further his gaming career. And Emmett looked so hurt. He really did. He really looked so hurt. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward because I don't think I have any more screenshots. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this conversation. But in this conversation, at the end of it, Emmett was kind of like, oh, don't you want to raise your kids in the Shy where you grew up at and all this other stuff? And I was like, excuse me, Emmett, do you know the Shy ain't shit? Do you know for the Shy, for the black man and the black woman, the Shy ain't shit? Okay. So don't be giving him your limited view and your limited life experience and perspective. I say, Kevin, spread your wings, go to LA and do your thing. But you already know that this is just like a mindset of the black community staying at home and where it's homegrown. But I really, really implore the youth and everybody else to explore the world, go out and live. Okay. Oh, oh, Papa asked Kenya to the prom. It was so cute. It was so cute. I really did enjoy that whole thing. Like the grand gesture. Come on, Papa. We know who. Let's just say I know that the Kevin is raised by Nina and Dre, and we know that Jake is raised by his brothers and stuff like that. But you can definitely tell that Papa was raised in a household where where the man honors and cherishes the woman, and that's exactly what was mirrored in this particular thing. And I thought it was so sweet. She was caught by surprise, and she was like, "Oh yes, of course," and gave him a kiss, a nice little smooch. And I thought it was so cute scene. So Bagari goes to the chop shop, and he is super impressed because he got all the toys out. Duda got all the toys out, the Ferraris, the Lambos, the Lamborghinis, all of everything. He's loving it. Duda is like, yes, I'm loving you, loving it. But guess what? Come here, young blood. This is gonna be your ride. This is gonna be your ride to Chariot to the prom this weekend. But I'm gonna need you to handle these things that's in the trunk of the car. Okay? So We already know they've been trying to figure out what to do with these pals, these straps that's in this duffel bag. And so he is tasked with trying to figure out where to hide them or where to keep and stash them. And it's not on Duda to know, it's not on Nook to know, it's on Bakari to know. So Bakari has to go out and figure this out. And Bakari said he was going to do it. I was like, okay, Bakari. Well, so, in the next scene across town, we see Tiffany looking at the growing buzz, and she's like, "When my shit gonna look like this?" And then next thing you know, you see Dante walk in, talking about it ain't nothing like fresh weed in the morning. So the dude, I forget his name. Is it Cairo? Cairo is telling her in due time it'll take a couple of months. The next thing you know, they're having pleasantries or whatever. And then next thing you know, you hear like glass shattering. They run out, they find out that somebody has stolen Tiffany's car. Dante says, I think I know where it's at, what we can do. And he was like, you gonna ask questions or you gonna come or whatever. So next thing you know, Tiffany and Dante is on the way, peeled off, and Cairo is back there at the plant or whatever. And so, yeah. So in the next scene, we see Keisha talking to her supervisor, and her supervisor comes to sit her down to have a conversation. And she explains to her that she just came from a meeting and there are massive budget cuts. And although she tried to kind of break it down and give it to her as smooth and easy as she could possibly do, there's no good way to lose your job. Unless, of course, you really want to lose your job. So, guess what? So, she pretty much was like, you've been late, you've been having to leave early. You do a really good job with your students, but I cannot justify keeping you on, in retrospect with everybody else or whatever. And so we have to let you go. And, as it started to come into clarity of what Keisha was hearing, it kind of just muted out and she didn't really hear anything like all of the other, oh, I'm so sorry, and this, and that, and that. She didn't hear none of that. All she heard was she was fired and she was let go. And she just looked so hurt because it was like her dream job. She worked really hard to get where she was, and I just felt really bad for her. So yeah, that's how that cookie crumbled. Now over at the chop shop, we get over there. Now how Rob got there, or maybe he was already there. I don't know. Maybe she called him on a cell phone. Meet me at the body shop. Okay. So anyway, he's there. He's saying, "Are you okay?" He's checking on her. She's like, "Yeah." Next thing you know, they're talking to Zay, and Zay automatically gets an attitude. Attitude automatically. He didn't say nothing, but Zay has a look about him. He don't have to say anything. He came over there and he was like, "What?" And so Duda was like, "Well, what is going on over here? What's happening?" And he was like, they took my baby's Ultima or whatever. He was like, "Oh, I'm sure they just took it by mistake. Let the lady have her car." And Zay was like, "Okay." So he was looking at Duda, and Duda gave him, the word. And Rob is still looking at him like, "Oh my God." Look at Bacardi in the back. He's like, "Oh shit, some shit about to pop off." Because you never know. Some shit can pop off. You remember somebody lost their life over chewing gum too loud. Okay. So listen, Bakari is over there holding his breath. You see what I'm saying? So then Rob gets all huffy in his chest, talking about, "You gonna take the money out. We ain't paying for this. The damage is done to a car. Whoopty whoop." He getting all loud, all puffed up in the chest. Duda was like, That's what we're not gonna do. Hello, are you crazy? That's what we're not gonna do." And so he was like, "This, I'm gonna need you to bag back, and take your stuff, take it out the next drop that drop me off my money. You can take it out of that. But ain't nobody giving you shit. You better be glad you're getting this car back." You know what I'm saying? You know how Duda is. You know how he do. Now listen, there was this conversation between Dante and Duda that made my spidey senses tingle about Dante. Dante seems like he's a little well connected as well. He was like, your people getting greedy, too many causes coming up missing, all this other stuff. He knew exactly where to come. He got this new dealer, K-Ro. You know what I'm saying? That's how Tiffany was introduced through Dante. So I feel like Dante might be playing a more important role than we're giving him credit for just because his role is limited. But if you listen in a dialogue of what is being said, he is letting on that he knows more than the average Joe. So there's that. Oh yeah, so when he checked Duda about what was going on, he was saying, um, he was telling him all his people was getting too greedy or whatever. He was like, don't be getting caught up over no bitch, especially one that ain't yours. So there's that. So, so back at Tree, Victor's house, Jake comes downstairs and he's trying on his prom suit. The bifold, what is it? The bicolor, I don't know, whatever that shit is called. Two tone, that's what it's called. Two-tone pants, the black and white pants. He was like, oh, what you doing, trying something new? He was like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm trying to wear this to prom or not. Then he gets down and he sits down at the table and he hears the news that's playing on the radio, talking about the pressure that Victor is under, as far as him living up to the job and actually, living up to the expectations of being mayor. I believe it's a mayor, whatever he is, alderman. So Jake hears what's going on as far as what's on the newscast or whatever, and Victor kind of tells him that he doesn't want the people to not trust him anymore just because he's a politician, because he's been in community service, he's been in the streets on the front lines and stuff like that. And when you become a politician, you kind of take a step back. You got people doing your dirty work for you. If it's dirty work, you never know, but usually politicians dibble and dabble into the dirty work or whatever. And that's what he's saying. He's saying that, he hopes that the people don't stop trusting him because he's now a politician. And, Jake really just kind of levels with him and saying, you can only do the best that you can. And that's just going to have to be enough. And Victor loves and appreciates the kind words from his little brother. So Maisha is over Lene's house, which is, Nina and Dre's house. And she was like, well, what color do you want your nails? Y'all not, what's going on? Are you and Bakari going to be coordinated? She was just like, no, I have no idea. She was like, what you mean? What you mean? She was like, we haven't talked about it yet. You haven't talked about it yet? Of course, because he's too busy in the streets, baby. Okay, so yeah, there's that. Then Lene tells her that her brother wants to meet Bakari before he takes her to prom. And she was like, well, your brother know what it is. He been on these streets. He know what it is. And I'm like, yeah, he know what it is. That's why he is being so protective over her. But, Maisha just kind of puts it lightly and, puts a nice little spin on it and makes Renee feel, better about the whole meetup between Bakari and her brother. And she admires her nails and she likes them. Oh yeah, Maisha said, remind your brother that niggas be in the streets because they have to be, not because they want to be. And I would beg to differ, but I understand from Maisha's point of view, being a 16, 17-year-old girl, she really don't know that there's really a choice out here in these streets, okay? Okay. So Emmett comes and he's bringing little EJ home to his mother. And it feels like to me, does it feel like to me that Keisha and Emmett has EJ more than his mom does? Just an observation. I don't know. I'm just saying. So he brings EJ over. He tells him to go in the house. He notices the car, apparently, of course. Who wouldn't notice the car? Tiffany comes down. He's questioning her, talking about what happened to the car. And she was like, somebody tried to steal it. He was like, what the fuck you mean? How did you get it back? She explained the whole situation, that Dante was there and she was at her new supplier, and he was like, I thought Duda was your supplier. She said, he is until my harvest is coming in. And I was like, girl,
Hush! You talk too much. Homegirl, you never shut up. Goddamn!
I was like, Keisha, I mean, not Keisha, Tiffany, why did you say all of that? Like, I really don't feel like Emmett would betray you. But I was just like, girl, what? Why are you saying all of that? I'm telling you, in a drug game, it is so much better to keep stuff close to the vest than be blabbing it all over the place. And so that's just how I was raised. I don't, I guess she trusts Emmett or whatever, but she's like out in the open, and same thing with Rob when he told Nuck all that stuff when they were sitting outside and smoking and talking about the news. No, but whatever. But he was like, you still should have called me. And she was just like, you're not my protector anymore. And I think she tried to throw that in there just to give him a little jab or whatever. And, I don't know. Maybe because he did marriage vows with Tiffany. Maybe that's why it's a little harder to cut and sever the tie. But I feel like he places more ownership and does more things for Tiffany than he even does for Keisha in his own family. And I think it might be subconscious, but I feel like he does it nonetheless. Y'all let me know. Y'all hit the like button if you think that he kind of has some kind of deeper connection with Tiffany than he does with Keisha, and why that might be. in the in the next scene, it was this cute little touching scene between Lene and Vakari. Of course, y'all listen. Now, I feel like the writers are trying to write a soft spot for me for Bakari, they're trying to either redeem his character or something like that. But baby, he is a full-blown, cold-hearted killer. Period. So, be that as it may, you ain't pulling the wool over my eyes, Bakari, because I see you for what you are. But Lene is sitting there chilling, laying on his chest or whatever, and he's talking about you want to go somewhere out the way for prom or whatever. And she was just like, yeah. She was like, for what? And he was just like, no, just to spend time, we just gonna be spending time with each other. And she was like, yeah, that's cool. And she was like, don't be expecting nothing. He was like, expecting what? She was like, you know what? And you know what? And Lene, guess what? If that was going to happen, you were going to give it to him. Okay? I'm just going to let you know that right now. Oh, yeah. He said he loved her. And she said, I love you too. So I had to add that part in there. I almost missed that. So Emmett comes home and he sees Keisha sitting on the couch. He says to her, somebody stole Tiffany's car today? She was like, what? She was like, Did you know that she was growing her own weed? She was like, yeah. She was like, but is Tiffany okay? And he was like, yeah, but ain't nobody think to tell me that she was growing her own weed or whatever. And then next thing you know, Keisha just said, I lost my job today, Emmett. And he was like, what happened? Why? Budget cuts. And then Emmett then says, well, at least you won't be as overwhelmed anymore. So let me get this straight, Emmett. Let me get this straight. Y'all let me know in the comments. Am I tripping? She lost her job, a job that meant a lot to her. And now he sees that as a relief for her so that she can go back doing the motherly and wifely duties of the house and she won't be so overwhelmed anymore. Did I hear that right? Hello? Is anybody here? Hello? Hello? I believe that's what I heard. Is that what y'all heard? I don't know. And she's just like, yeah, I'm helping you. Because let's be clear, Keisha has one son, Ronnie. And she does have her mom and Dre to lean on. But for the most part, Keisha is taking on Emmett and his 3 to 4 children. Plus hers. All while playing house and trying to have a job and figure it out. I'm just saying. Just something to think about. Keisha said, I'm not going to be sitting home while you outside living your best life and I'm sitting around letting the world pass me by. Now, she said the same thing that her mother said later on in this episode. And from what I gathered is that Keisha and Nina both have learned from Nina's mistakes. So she's at a point where she, we'll get to it because I think it's 2 more episodes down the line at a therapy session, and we'll talk more about it then. But Keisha learned from her mom's mistakes, and you always know, however you're raised, you're either going to lean more into the bad or the toxic or just the behaviors in general, or you're going to do a 180-degree turn and you're going to say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be selling drugs. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm not going to, it's either you lean in or you lean away from it. And so I feel like Keisha is leaning away from it. And then, we'll talk more about it down the line, but I just wanted to say that real quick. A child across town, Shad is working with Darnell. Darnell is one of those handymen. He goes around, do the things that, the women don't have the resources to do or whatever. So they got to pay somebody to, put dresses together, do odd things around the house or whatever. And Shaw came out and he was like, "What is this? This $100?" He said, "We've been working since the morning." He was like, "I told you it was slow money." He was like, "I didn't tell you it was fast money, but it's honest money." And he was just basically saying that he's tired of feeling like he's not bringing nothing to the table. And Darnell pretty much said, I get it. I understand. He was like, if we can get more guys, this could be a big business. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But for now, I suggest you keep on hitting that thing. Hitting that thing the way he need to hit it, okay? And that's just about it. So Gemma is trying on the prom dress that she ordered online that came in, and she's like, oh my God. Tierra was like, oh my God, I know you are not wearing that dress. It is hideous. And she was like, don't you think I know that? She was like, did you buy it online? She was like, yes. She said, well, she was like, stop judging me. And she was like, well, I can take you to go get you a dress. It's either me or your father. And she was just like, okay, I guess I'll go with you. And of course, her father looks in and sees them two bonding. And I thought that was sweet. Then we see Keisha coming in while Dre and Nina are having a disagreement, should I say, about this co-worker of hers that is an ex-fiance, and them having some text messages happening on the later side of the evening hour. And in this scene, it was Keisha walked in just as Nina was saying, I'm not going to have you out there living your best life while I'm at home doing nothing. And so she's like, literally, I'm turning into my mother. And then Dre goes in to tell her that her mom is tripping. She's just having a hard time with me having other women friends who are lesbians. No, we don't have problems that you have women friends that are lesbians. We have problems where you have friends, in quotations, who were ex-fiancés. Get that clear, Dre. Dre, don't make me do it, okay? So she goes on and says that she's faithful to her mom. It's just a disagreement. Everything is fine. Blah, blah, blah. Dre also tells her that she needs to go to see a therapist. She tells her about losing the job and all that stuff. And she was like, you need to see a therapist. She was just like, no, can I just see you? She's like, hell no. She said, I know I'm way too close to this situation. It's unethical for me to be a part of the therapy process. But she had somebody to recommend her. And she was like, okay. Bakari goes over to Shad's house and said, how long you going to be a kept man? He was like, what the fuck you say to me? He said, how long you going to be a kept man? He basically sunned him and, went for his weakness. He knows he's a man that's a kept man and he wants to make his own money. So he puts down 2 bands and was like, it's easy money. You're not going to have to do it long. Ain't nothing going to happen. And he was like, yeah, that's the same thing that I heard right before I went to jail the first time. And he was like, I wouldn't let nothing happen to you like that. You know what I'm saying? He said, go ahead, just keep that for me and everything will be just fine. Of course, he took them 2 bands. So, he had to take them blickies, okay? He took the blickies and he put them in the ventilation system that's right on the side of the wall. And I'm like, is that the most predictable place to put it at? Like, if you were to get rated, I believe that is the first place the popos would look. Maybe not regular people, but the popos. But yeah. Anyway, just a little observation. What y'all think about it? Hit the like button if you think Shaw made the wrong choice. Will he pay for it? What's going to happen? And Tierra are at the spa bonding. You know, she closed out the whole entire shop and she talking about she don't do gym pop. Child, where I go, you could just, rent out a space that is a private space. But I guess she rented out the whole spa. That's fine. And they really did bond over the conversation that they had or whatever. So I was really happy to see it. I knew it was just going to take a little bit of time for Gemma to warm up. And yeah, I kind of like it because they are like one in the same. I think when Gemma looks at her, she can see herself, a chocolate, beautiful brown girl, and know that good things can happen for her. And so I feel like she's kind of inspired by her. Tierra is not really nasty. She's very assertive. Some people may call assertive aggressive, but she's very assertive and she knows what she wants. And that's the same thing I think Gemma is. And I think this is going to be a very good bond. Oh, I forgot this particular conversation that they had with each other where she asked, did she really love her father or was she just using him? And she was just like, girl, trust me, I've dated men and women. Check out. Did you hear it? Put a pin in that. I've dated men and women more powerful than your father. I really just kind of vibe with him. I like him. And, they talk about her mother, talking about her mother loved her father too, but she left him. And she left Gemma too. And that has to be a very, very sore spot for Gemma. And so, yeah. And it was at that moment when Gemma had to, feel those feelings of the abandonment of her mother. Tierra, reached over and grabbed her hand and they really had a moment. Emmett tried to jump bad in front of Duda because of this whole thing with Tiff's car. And Duda had to son him real quick and let him know, if you come to him like that again, your mama gonna have to be picking out a suit for you and your daddy gonna be crying over you. So you better tread lightly. And pretty much sent Emmett on his way. Pretty much told him that his baby mama came with 2 other niggas. And it's not a good look for you to be coming a day late and a dollar short. I said, oh, well, goddamn. Oh, man. Papa getting ready for prom. Pastor Stanley Jackson, his dad come and talk to him. And, he was like, I want you to act godly out there. He said, do I have to? He said, listen here, boy. Everything you do out in the world is a reflection of me. And I said, baby, if I'm not going to shout in my, whew, child, that thing. But I've been trying to release that, actually. I actually have been trying to release that because I do realize it is a choice that people make. But parents, we have been so conditioned, and there's this whole guilt and shame about your children being a reflection of you. Yes, it is a lot of the times, most of the times. But baby, you got to release that thing. Sometimes it's just not. Sometimes it's just the way the cards are dealt. And so anyway, I'm getting on my soapbox. Let me get off. So Bakari comes in there and, he talks to him and he tells him how to handle Lene's brother. Shake his hand, look him in the eye, be confident, giving them all of the jewels that he needs to do from a father figure to a young son. They take a selfie and they're off to the prom. And Keisha comes home and she finds Emmett sitting at the table drinking a nice stiff brown drink, probably hen dog. I don't know what it is. I don't know. She was like, "Are you okay?" And then he's like, trying to brush it off, talking about, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she was just like, "No, not really. I think I need to go back to therapy." And he was like, "Are you okay?" And then she was just like, I'm overwhelmed And that's what I try to tell young women. That is going in. It may seem like it is something that you want to do, but that burden gets so heavy and so tiring that, look, they ain't even been together a year. 6 months? She overwhelmed already? Listen, I'm trying to tell you, that shit get old real fast. Real fast. So you go in trying to, okay, we're gonna do it for love, but love is just a secondhand emotion, y'all. It's not gonna do it, y'all. It's just not. It's absolutely not. But let me go ahead and get off my soapbox. Baby, when she said she feels like she's pouring into everybody else and nobody's pouring into her and she feels empty and lost, baby, that's a real thing. It's a real thing, y'all. It's a real thing. That's why self-love and self-care is so important. Because if you don't have it no more, you cannot give it. And that's just what it is. And you have to, if you don't slow down, life is gonna slow you down. Okay? Keisha asked Emmett, do you need to go to therapy yourself? And he said, no, we're doing this, the men's group therapy. And she was like, group therapy is great. I'm glad you all are doing that. But that one-on-one hit different. And it does. It does. And of course, he said no. And, a lot of times women are begging and asking for your help and you shut them down at every turn. And then when they turn elsewhere, it's a problem. Let's start at the beginning of the story, y'all. Just something to think about. Start at the beginning. Child, it's prom night. Everybody getting ready. Tierra is telling the father, just wait. She's getting ready to come down. She's so excited. They went shopping and all this. She looks so beautiful. You're going to be so proud. Honey. When she came down, she almost looked like a carbon copy of Tierra. And baby, Tierra, I don't know. I feel like I didn't get a picture of the dress. I'm sorry, y'all. The father had an attitude. Do you hear me? He looked at her. He said, take off that makeup. Take off that dress. You look too damn grown. I mean, he was going off. You hear me? Gemma came down. She was so proud and everything. And it almost looked like a carbon copy of her. And I was like, well, damn. I said, is he projecting? Like, he didn't want her to look like Tierra because of the thoughts that was running through his mind when he saw Tierra, when he first saw her, and how he felt about her and what he wanted to do to her. Was it something like that? You know what I'm saying? You know how men are. They can do all the stuff to other people's daughters. But when it's their daughter, then they got like a problem. It's a problem. Child, I think that's what it was. But he told her ass to go on upstairs, change your fucking clothes, and come down here after you take off some of that damn makeup. Before I said you can't go all together. I said, okay, hey. He laid down the hammer. So the fellas are just sitting around waiting for the girls or whatever. They're all dressed. Everybody looks fly. Everybody. If I'm going to get best dressed, I'm going to go ahead and give it to my boy, Kevin. Kevin was best dressed for me. Then next will be Bakari. Jake will be third place. And fourth place will be Papa. No slight, no shade or whatever. But, just based on the four guys that's right there, that's the way I see it. They're asking each other, all the girls are late, running late and all this stuff. Then next thing you know, Papa gets a text from Kenya saying that, I'm so sorry, Papa, I can't make it tonight. An emergency came up. But she said, you can come to my crib after prom. My parents are out of town. So, hint, hint, wink, wink. We know what that means. And of course, Papa tried to rub it in everybody's face or whatever. Cute little scene. Aww. Everybody's so proud at the send-off. Yes. Gemma looked great. Jake looked great. They all came out. Maisha was giving body yaddy yaddy. Lene looked so beautiful. It was such a, oh my God. It made my heart smile, like for real. All the love. That is what these moments are about. That's really what these moments are about. picture taken, all the family together, looking your best, memories, all that. It was just so good. Vic, Mensa. Come on, smash, Maisha. I love it. I love it. I love it. It was such a sweet, sweet, sweet thing. Oh my God. I feel like I want to cry. I'm such a sucker for this stuff, y'all. I really am. I really am.
We don't want to drop. Keep my sister. I'm gonna call them the boys. So I got
He said, "You got one job, and you got one job only. Protect my sister at all costs. Don't get her caught up in none of your bullshit. She all I got." Bakari said, "Trust me, I got you. She not. She good." And he confidently shook her hand, and he said that was his word. However, comma, as teenagers do, that's what they do, and we'll see how that plays out a little bit later. We'll get there. Okay, so the plot thickens. We see Alicia, who is Rob's mom, very well connected, very affluent, should I say. But it looks like Alicia has like some dirty little secrets, and you may not want to underestimate her. So then we have Jill Marie Jones. I think her name is Bianca. She is playing in this as this owner. She just came in. She just came in just as this owner of this club that seems to have some kind of background. And Alicia is saying it seems like this club has been infiltrated by some hoodlums. She said, "By hoodlums, do you mean Duda?" And she was like, "Yeah." She was just like, "I'm still a silent partner." She said, "You haven't been silent since we signed the paperwork." So Bianca said that there was an agreement there. She paid her back, but Alicia still insists that she's a silent partner in this. And she was like, "Well, you do know the connection between Q and Duda and all that stuff." And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm really, I heard about that, and I'm sorry for your loss." And she was just like, "Yeah, thank you for that. And, just watch the company you keep. And I'm not going to collect on that favor just yet, but I will." And I was like, "Ooh, sounds ominous." Them kids having a good old time, and I think they deserve it. Now, who the hell they was listening to? Don't ask me. But anyway, the kids like it. I guess I love it, y'all. I don't know. But they had a good time. Maisha is prom queen. Jake is crowned prom king. And yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was just one of those things. It was such a sweet and good time. The kids had a great time. They take pictures. They look so lovely. I mean, okay, so with the girls, okay, I did the boys. Let me do the girls. I think Lene is best dressed for me, number one. Gemma, number two. And Maisha, number three. Yes. They cut up. They cut up that night. They had a good time. And that's what prom is all about. It's just like a culmination of everything. Your whole 12 years of, you made it, y'all. So it's just like, it's just a great experience. And, it really touched my heart and warmed my heart. Okay, I forgot to tell y'all, during this time, Kevin ended up breaking to Jake and Papa about the opportunity that he had to go to LA. And he was going to take the gaming thing to the next level. Jake was all about it. He said, "Do it, but do it for you. And if Maisha is the right one for you, she'll understand." I was like, "This, yes, come on, Jake. Hold on, sidebar. Can we talk about the growth in Jake?" We talk about somebody that was under the tutelage of Reg and his crackhead mom. He's done a complete 180 under Victor's, thing. He's wise beyond his years. He understands what's going on. I love his character arc. And you remember he was Duda's foster child. I think he took him to be his foster child, and that didn't work out. And he easily could have gone to the other side, but I love that he changed his life around for the better. Bakari, you know, I'm just gonna keep him in prayer because yeah, it's not looking too good for Bakari. I don't know. Usually the way this works out in real life, in real life, Bakari probably end up being okay. Guess who's gonna go down? Lene. Mark my words. I'm gonna do not in this video, but I'm gonna do a death predictions, and I'm gonna do like some theories and stuff like that where we're gonna be trying to predict the outcome of where we're going with the story, with the breadcrumbs that they're leaving us. Now, Papa to me is a wild card. I feel like we know where Kevin is going, but we all know, we all know when somebody is ready to leave the hood and do something positive, something happens to him. Him, her, them, whatever. Something happens. And so I hope that is not Kevin's fate. I'm so proud of Kevin. Papa, you know, he's a wild card for me. I don't know how he's gonna go. But I know he is looking to some troublesome times in the future, but I'll just keep it here in episode 5, and let's keep. Victor is having a little celebratory thing. Close friends and family, co-workers, and all the such. They give a speech for him. You know, he's doing the whole political thing, introducing his girl to everybody, his lady rather. And we see all this stuff. And we do see at this moment that Victor actually opens up to his right-hand man, Julian. I think his name is Julian. If it's not Julian, correct me in the comments. But I think, for some reason, I think Julian is the feds. I think he's a CI. I think he is somebody that's working for somebody. I think he's connected. So Victor is being very open and honest because he thinks that he can trust that man. But for some reason, my gut is telling me don't trust that man. But we'll see. We'll see as the time goes on. Oh, it was in this conversation that the real estate agent, who is Duda's broker, said that Duda gave him a loan to make it through tough times or whatever. And he said he don't know what he would do without him. So basically what he just told him is that your fiance is in Duda's back pocket. Now, I'm real confused that Victor coming clean to Quincy after he saw that his fiance was in Duda's back pocket. He told him Duda's, he's crazy, he's dangerous. And he was just like, you got to be transparent with me. He said, I haven't had any problems with Duda. He said, yeah, not yet. And then he was like, you got to be transparent with me. And then Victor said, I helped Duda dump a body.
Hush! You talk too much. Homegirl, you never shut up. Goddamn!
Baby, what are you doing? Honey, as soon as he said that, guess who's gonna come? I'll wait. Okay, so I don't have the screenshot for Papa going over to Julian, and his lover goes home. And they're having a conversation, and basically Julian tells his real estate lover, who is entangled with Duda, that he's dangerous. And that's all he knows. And that was the scene, basically. I mean, I guess be careful. All right. King's house. Bakari drops him off, and he takes the corsage that he has for her, and he knocks on the door. She comes to the door, and then there's a little boy standing there, and he was like, oh, who's this? Your little brother? She said, no, it's my son. A mess. Child, Bakari being a kid, him and Lene. I ain't seen Lene protesting, saying, drive slower, slow down. No, she enjoying it. He's speeding through town in a stolen fucking car. And guess what? his ass get pulled over by the federales. Okay. The boy say, let me get that license and registration. I don't know if he got a license for one. And I damn sure know he ain't got no registration because it ain't in his name. Honey, it's just a mess. It's just a mess.
See, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite.
That's very telling. So we get to the police station and all the parents are there. Vic, I don't know what that boy name is. I call him Big Mensa. You know his name is Vic Mensa. Her brother is there. Dre is there giving her support like Dre always does. Nina is there. Everybody is just, just thankful that it wasn't anything worse than what it was. You know what I'm saying? And her brother looked over his shoulder at Bakari being released as well because, of course, Bakari was picked up by Pastor Stanley. He had to come pick him up and stuff like that. And in the car when he was leaving, he was playing church music, and I felt like it hit him. It hit him where it needed to hit him. Because everything he had said, he had went back on his word. Here we are with the consequences. I let everybody down. Pastor Stanley. I let Nina down. I let Lene down. I let Big Mensa down, her brother. I let everybody down. And the weight of that really did weigh on Bakari. And this is the only reason why. Not the only reason, but I feel like the writers are doing it to try to write some redemption arc with him. However, I know how niggas are. I know how they are. So, I'm still handling him with a long-handed spoon. And we'll see. We shall see. But he ended up breaking down in the back of the car, realizing his mistake and how he let everybody down. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like he let himself down, But that's what kids do. That's what kids do. So let this be a learning experience, Bakari. Let it be a learning experience. And then next thing you know, they're sitting around talking, and there's a knock at the door, and the federale hood is here at the door.
What? What the fuck?
So for me, just because that happened in that conversation, from the celebration to that night, Jake hadn't even made it home yet. Somebody is the federale hood. It's either the real estate broker, it's either Julian, which I think it is. Now, Fatima, I wasn't even thinking it was her. But I don't know. I'm not thinking it's her. I want to say it's either the couple. And yeah, so the federale hoods came after him and was like, you need to come answer some questions. And he went along. He went on ahead and went. And Fatima was just real like, what's going on? He was just like, calm down. It's going to be okay. I'm going to go with them. I'll be home as soon as I can. Then we see Bianca, Jill Marie Jones from Girlfriends. She picks Duda up. Duda gets in the car. She's like, about time. And then he ends up, she's questioning him and all this other stuff, talking about Alicia and all this other stuff. And he was like, just keep her at bay or whatever. And she questions him in a manner that gets him to confess that he ended up killing Q. Now, honey, Bianca, you're in danger, girl. Because I really don't think that Duda would give up that information willingly and not know the consequences that will ensue from that. So, I don't know, honey. Child, you better keep your head on a swivel because I think Duda may be gunning for you since he gave the confession. So, that's that on that. Keisha goes to therapy. And therapy goes good. It's she pretty much unloads all of the stuff from season 4, 5, and 4 and 5. All the stuff that she went through or whatever, and she's trying to work through it. So good for her. Good for her. Now, Kevin and Maisha, they are sitting around talking, and he's talking about the LA opportunity. And Maisha is on board for it. She's like, yes, absolutely. Let's do that. You can't live your life with nobody else. You make sure you make the decision. Like she is breathing life and talking life into that man. Ain't that what y'all want? That's what y'all want, the woman to speak life into. So she went on and did what the black girl's supposed to do. She did all that, right? After she did that, he gets on the phone, confirms with the gaming company or whoever who was sponsoring them that he's going to do it. However, he didn't. I guess he didn't tell Maisha that he was definitely going to do it, because we'll see later on in the episodes that she was just like, I had to learn from somebody else. I'm like, girl, you helped him make the decision. What the hell is going on? Listen, the writing and the consistency of the writing. It's whatever. We'll go ahead and forgive it. Yeah. And so they sit there and they chill. For the night. And he made the decision to do what he needed to do. So yeah, y'all, that is where the episode ends. I'm gonna have to say, that's all, folks. That's all, folks. That is the end of the episode. We're in the thick of it. I know it's late, but y'all give me y'all predictions. Anything that y'all needed to get up off your chest, let me know how you felt about it. Did you agree with my opinions? Did you not agree? You have fan theories? Put them down in the comments. I want to hear all of that good stuff. And yeah, y'all, so I will catch you for the next one, which is episode 6. And I believe the name of that particular episode is Boys to Men. So I will see y'all for Boys to Men episode 6 tomorrow. As always, I'm Nita, your favorite diva. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought about the Shy. I know it's a little late. I am playing catch up, so bear with me. And yeah, let's go ahead and I will see you on the next one. See you guys. Bye.